How much does it cost to operate your business and maintain a corporation in Canada? What are the expenses? What should you plan for your business planning and how to approach this task? Hello and welcome back again, me Eugene from CBES, and today a new topic that had been asked on multiple occasions by our followers. So today I would like very shortly to explain you how much does it actually cost to start your business and then to operate it. What are the costs, maintenance, only from the perspective of legal, administrative and accounting costs, so you would know where to look, how much to plan, what to expect, and also hopefully to reduce a little bit of your skepticism and a bit of a fear of many people that they sense towards starting a corporation. First of all, incorporation, as I said in many of my previous videos, it's a relatively simple and cost-effective process. If you do it yourself, you would be paying only the incorporation fee, which can differ depending on what you plan to do. So federal incorporation fee costs $200, plus if you want to give a name to your corporation, it's another $12. So together will be approximately $220 altogether the process, and you get the Articles of Incorporation. In Ontario, the same process will cost about $400, $350 for incorporation and $50 for the name search. If you want to register federal corporation and then register it in some other provinces where you are located, so for example, if you're located in New Brunswick and you want to register federally, that will cost you $220 for federal registration, but then you will have to do the interprovincial registration, which costs another $270. So you have to check it, but the cost is more or less somewhere between $200 to $500, depending on what you want to achieve. At that point, you have a corporation, fully valid, operational, you get your Articles of Incorporation, you will get immediately in the case of federal corporation, or a couple of days later in the case of provincial corporation, your business number from CRA, and you're good to go, start operating your business. This same task, which is only a very partial achievement of the goal of incorporation, as you remember, I always said you need the proper bylaws article. In addition to the Articles of Incorporation, you need registries of your directors, shareholders and officers. You need resolutions that establish a corporation, define which shares you operate, and define the positions of each of you, either alone or with your partners inside the corporation. That must be done in addition to incorporation, and you do not get it, not in a template form, not in any other form, if you just use a government provided registration databases. So if you think about retaining someone to do this service for you, my company, for example, is charging approximately between $1,000 to $1,500, depending on the requirements of the amount of shares, amount of partners, plus the cost of incorporation fee. So I would say you can assume somewhere in the ballpark of between $1,000 to $1,500. That's the cost if you retain a professional to do everything for you, and you should expect in this price to get Articles of Incorporation, properly structured shares, more than just one or two classes that will allow you future growth, and the what is called minutes book with all the resolutions, bylaws and registries of a corporation. This is a one-time payment. You do not have to pay it ever again unless you want to make any changes to the corporation. Then it is technically, and the changes major ones, so like new classes of shares, change the name of your corporation, then you have to apply for amended articles. This would be more or less the same cost as to do the original articles, but that's somewhere down the road. Hopefully you will never need it in your future. Now the maintenance. So what actually the cost of keeping the corporation? From the legal perspective, whatever people will tell you, it's not much at all. So in the case of federal corporation, you just have to file annual informational return and pay $20, and it was reduced recently to even less. In the case of Ontario corporation, you do your filings through the accountant submitting the tax return, and any changes or updates to corporation are free. You just fill in the Form 1, send it, you do not pay money. So legal maintenance of a corporation, you need to prepare annual resolutions, which is a simple task. Again, if you retain someone professional, shouldn't cost more than $200–300. in a regular situation, and that's it. Now people always ask, but what are additional costs? From the business perspective, in order to maintain your corporation in good order and prepare it for the annual tax filing, you would need a couple of additional expenses to maintain the corporation. The first expense is your bookkeeping. And what I always tell to people, if you plan to do smaller business, you're alone, not hundreds upon hundreds of transactions per week, per day, per month, you can do your bookkeeping on your own. There are very good tools to assist you, like QuickBooks, like alternative software if you want. And you do not have to hire someone at the initial stages. It's not a mandatory expense. Usually bookkeeping services for a company would cost somewhere between $200 per month to $500 per month, and then it can go all the way up to a full-time salary of an employee, depending on the size of your business and amount of the operations that you process per any given time. The whole idea of bookkeeping is to bring you to a position where you have a fully calculated expenses and revenues towards submission of your tax returns or tax reporting, depending on the frequency. Second type of expense is your tax reporting, actual, and that should cost, in the case of a small business, either family operated, sole person running the business, or a couple of partners, somewhere between $1,000 to prepare a very basic zero, not too many transactions report, up to $3,000 for a little bit more complicated, where the companies already have their business operations, their revenues and expenses, and it again can grow more and more depending on the complexity of the issues, on the amount of planning that you have to do for the tax purposes. But this is again the ballpark. I think that in addition to that, there's nothing else that you really should calculate in the cost of maintaining your corporation and running your business from the administrative, legal, and accounting perspective. So if you see this is not so scary, that would, in a small business, result in approximately $3,000 per year expense, which is about $250 per month. Not something that should really affect your decision whether incorporate or not. But these are the costs. So when you plan to spend this amount of money every year on your tax returns, and of course plan also that these costs will grow. Hopefully your business will grow, you will have more expenses, more transactions, and always remember, if you will do the same as an individual, as a sole proprietor, the cost will not vary much. So if you have 100 transactions per month for the corporation, or 100 transactions per month for sole proprietorship, the cost of preparing your accounting reports, tax returns, any accounting costs should be more or less the same, definitely not with substantial differences between them. So these are the costs listed here for your convenience, and if you have more questions about these costs, other costs that could be related to running your business, as usual, comment section below, subscribe for those who didn't subscribe yet, and every question of yours I try to respond as fast as possible, couple of days. And again, if you want to hear more, if you have some suggestions, don't stop yourself, put them into the comment section or email to me through our website www.cbes.ca, and I with pleasure will respond to your questions or create the videos that will clarify the issues for you. So thank you for being with us today. Again, me, Eugene, from CBES, Canadian Business and Enterprise Services. And as usual, good luck with your business. See you soon. Bye-bye.